and check out how they were producing. And she's harvesting for us today. This Saturday we're having a reunion with the youth, so it'll be fun for them to come back and see how different the garden looks. So why don't we walk up here? This is kind of like the entrance from Fair Avenue. And we have our garden shed where we store a lot of our equipment. And you want to just walk on through here? Some of the clovers, and not everything is necessarily tidy and in a place. Sometimes we rely a lot on volunteers, people and plants. So sometimes we let things grow where they do. Sometimes we pull them out. But so this also is sort of our perennial flower area. This is was planted to attract bugs and bees to the garden, because that's part of they are really our helpers. Or maybe we're their helpers, I don't know. And so we want to encourage them to be in the garden as well. So we've planted rows for them. And we have a number of perennial herb beds. Here's a huge bed of oregano. We have an account with a restaurant in town, an Italian restaurant. And so we sell a lot of herbs to them, as well as produce, lettuce and vegetables. So over here, Chris, are you okay? Okay. Okay. Here's our thyme bed. And this is something called Tuscan kale. This is the plant that keeps on giving, as does our collard greens. It's awesome because you just every week, actually probably more than once a week, we just come out here and we harvest the leaves, we bunch them up. Kale is such an awesome vegetable. Do you eat kale?
I love kale.
Awesome. Okay. So, we harvest it. This has been going strong all summer, and it's a hardy vegetable, so it will produce on, I have actually gone and brushed the snow away from my kale and harvested in winter, but I don't think we'll probably be doing this. We were talking about stringing Christmas lights on, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so here's another cover crop bed. This is buckwheat, and this also provides some green manure to the garden. So as soon as the youth have seen this, because they helped plant it, we'll cut this down. It'll dry, and then we'll work it into the soil. So it's providing organic matter into the soil. And this land, this whole area used to just be just a field that wasn't really used for anything, and we leased it from the city. It was very sandy, and the soil was really poor. I guess in the first year they found 4 worms in this whole area, which is incredible. It's very sandy, so we've done a lot to nourish the soil. So we can just walk on down this main path. And do you want me to point out the different vegetables, or what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So these are collard greens. These are a very popular item in the downtown, or the St. Luke's market and at Sikkim. And the Veggie Mobile actually is going to be buying 200 bunches of collard greens this fall. These beds we've been preparing for planting our garlic, so we'll do that this fall. Probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll plant garlic in here. We had an awesome garlic harvest, which was down here, and we've put that into cover crop. Garlic is a heavy feeder, so you do need to nourish the soil once you've taken that out. So here we have. This is peas and rye, or peas and oats. So any legume adds nitrogen, is nitrogen fixing, so it takes nitrogen out of the air and fixes it into the soil, which is a great thing for your vegetables.
And it's so cool. This land was being wasted before the garden started.
Right.
This was just empty land, and
yeah.
It's really neat how these gardens are starting to spring up all over Schenectady.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
Let's move on to the
Okay.
compost.
All
We
right,
love
this is-
compost.
we do. We love compost. Was my favorite. My new favorite thing to do is to make compost. So with the youth this summer, when we would pull the weeds out of all the beds, we'd bring them down here. Right here we have a major weed pile. This is not our compost pile, but we're going to make the biggest compost pile this Saturday with the youth, hopefully. And so we've been collecting weeds, and we're going to get some rotten food from the pantry that we'll compost. And that's the biggest pile, and it was probably actually it was probably 5 feet tall. But as it rots down, then it reduces in size. And these piles here, we had we probably had 6 piles that we made this summer with the youth. And what you do is you use straw, and then a green layer, and then you add a little dirt so that you add the microbes and the bacteria that's in the ground into the pile, and you just keep layering it. Also using water. Water is a main ingredient in the compost pile. So check this out. It's a little cold. Maybe the worms have sunk down. Usually when I fork in here, there's a ton of worms, but oh yeah, here's a big worm. Oh yeah, well, we have some that are about the size of snakes actually, but and then
we could spend all day here.
We could.
And then finally we have the little kid. Isn't this the little kids' garden?
Children's garden. Yeah, we moved this from one of the parks to here, so we can do children's programming here in the summer. So we have kids come for 4 weeks. We have a program called Roots, Shoots, Flowers, and Fruits. So each week they study about roots in the first week, and so on. And they plant the different vegetables and herbs and flowers, and we hire a college student to run that program, and then the youth will come down and they'll be part of this program. Some of the youth each week will help out with that program. So we're working on a perennial border here with our holly berries. The birds really love those, and so we try to be friendly to the native bugs and birds. And
thanks, Mary.
yep. All right. Thank you.